showtime!
It's showtime.
We are back on a Renegade Thursday edition of CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are live, Thursday edition.
Video game music and news coming right at you.
Here on YouTube. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Alright, I gotta ask you, Drix, what have you been playing?
You know, I've been playing some Dota 2, because in the background, we've been watching TI, the International, and almost made a trip out to Seattle, where it was being held this year, to actually watch the finals. And yeah, didn't really have the finances in order, because they didn't announce the prices for the tickets until a couple months ago, and I don't think there's going to be much more competitive Dota, and I think that might be one of the reasons why, is because if you don't let us buy tickets so people can plan plane trips to watch the finals, then yeah, I mean, might not rake in as much of the dough at the door.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, you make that scarcity.
Yeah, we wanted to get tickets, but yeah, they didn't really release the price until, you know, a couple, like, I don't know, a month ago or something. Way too soon.
Yikes.
But yeah, either way, still, for the love of the game, I've been brushing up on my Dota a little bit. I think it's the most complicated thing. 5-on-5 MOBA, you know, real-time strategy, item builds, and 100+ heroes to learn, you know, how they each break the game. It's my esport of choice anyway. And yeah, good luck to the finalists coming up in the next week or so. There's Twitch streams in the main menu of Dota 2.
I mean, I'm not a big Dota guy, but I understand TI is very, very, very important. It's the big thing, so it's kind of shocking to me that they would limit that ticket availability, you know? I mean, but I guess you're right, scarcity creates demand. You just get in there.
Yeah, we didn't know what the prices were, you know, and how to get in until a little too soon to plan ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Valve and stuff over here, like, just making wild reservations out of nowhere, like, you know.
Yeah, so, maybe they're better at making games or something.
Probably, you know. For me, I've been trying to tie up some loose ends in the games. I went hard. I took a day, went hard on Starfield. Got deeper into it. I'm about 4 hours-ish into the story, and I've done a lot of the Ryujin Incorporated or Ryujin Industries side content. Very, very cool. That game just keeps getting its claws deeper into me, but I had to put it down to play some more Armored Core, which Armored Core New Game Plus, so fun.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I think I said a week ago it was going to take me a week to beat the last boss, and, you know, lo and behold, I did finally beat the last boss in my first playthrough, and I haven't had that sensation where I finished a game and wanted to immediately come back and start playing it again. Like, I was like, nope, can't put this down. I want to know. I know there's more story options and endings and stuff like that. And I had to come right back just the same day, in the same sitting. It was delicious.
Yeah, man, it was. All the different little choices and nuances that layer on top of the familiar playthrough are great. I'm loving it. I think.
And PvP, I've been getting more into that too.
Yeah. I was gonna say
you've had enough, then yeah, go ahead and try your luck online against other humans, and man, study each other's builds and take turns watching in rooms. You actually learn a lot, kind of like, you know, any sport.
I finally as well dipped my toes into that, and it's man, I got clobbered my first few matches, but I got the hang of it. I could hang with those big boys now. The movement. Your movement needs to be so good.
Mm-hmm. Aggressive and on point, and always, you know, keeping your eye on the ball and studying the sort of like rock, paper, scissors of things, like, you know, small, medium beats light, beats heavy or something. And
right.
The three different
and all the micro interactions that happen between those decisions, like he moves this way, I should move. No, do I counter move? Do I charge him? All that stuff. You know,
Almost
is he up against the wall? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And that the fast pace of combat with the lightning quick dash speeds, insane. Like insane to try to react to. But you know what? I still have yet to find the time to play some Cyberpunk. And honestly, I may just grab a bundle if it happens for the PS5 because tell you what, Phantom Liberty getting nothing but praise.
Yeah, sounds great. I've also heard, I believe from Johnny Deals, our friend of the show and streamer. Yeah, he's been dipping into it a little bit, hearing good things.
Absolutely, and everyone knows by now, however, this is a comeback story. And in an interview with Colin Walder of CD Projekt Red from the Inven Global at the 2023 Inven Game Conference in Korea, it tells quite the tale. He talks the changes in the industry over a 17-year-long career, including heightened emphasis on audio quality in games, the importance of console functionality day one, out of the box, and the shifting around the strategy for game development at CD Projekt Red. You know, he said, you go into the interview, he talks a lot about how CD Projekt Red is restructuring internally, about how they're putting a little bit more responsibility on the management, and then further deeper into there, expanding on the audio point, he even says in here, game reviewers didn't used to worry about audio quality in games. Now they do. Yeah,
it's become a crucial part of just atmosphere and just the kind of stimulus that you get when engaging in something so interactive. Yeah, it's almost psychoactive how audio affects you.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And, you know, that is a really good interview. You just go to invenglobal.com. It's, there is a, give me one moment. I didn't have the headline here. Jeez. Headline, CD Projekt Red's Colin Walder, quote, actions speak louder than words. People need to see it to believe it. That is the headline from the Inven Global website. And you could check that out on right there. It's actually right there on the front page. Interview. So, you know, CD Projekt Red, a big success story. We've seen a couple of those too in these last two console generations, I believe.
Yep. This day and age, you can fix your games up after release. And yeah, it looks like we've got a bit of a successful underdog story here.
Absolutely. But, you know, while Cyberpunk is riding high, right? Another game dev is unfortunately being cut low. From the Paradox Interactive official website, the headline is, quote, harebrained schemes in Paradox Interactive to part ways as the Seattle-based developer seeks new opportunities.
Ooh, subletting sections of game development, huh?
Yeah,
trouble in paradise.
Or, I mean, I guess not really being able to, or cutting out some contractors, some subleases.
Yeah.
So, you know, this portion of the announcement right here, though, that I'm about to read, it cuts right to the chase. Paradox has refocused its strategy towards its core niches within strategy and management games with endless qualities, said Charlotta Nilsson, COO of Paradox. We and Harebrained Schemes leadership have been discussing what would happen after the release of The Lamplighters League, but a new project or sequel in the same genre was not in line with our portfolio plans. Hence, we believe that a separation would be the best way forward. End quote. And, you know, they go on to say that they're going to continue to support the game until the end of the year. But, man, that's pretty brutal.
Well, you know, it's not you, it's me. You know, maybe, you know, we'd be better off just going our separate ways. Sounds like they,
I guess.
Don't know, creative differences. That's what they say sometimes. But
I suppose
we could all just do some great work somewhere else. You know, these things are never easy if you don't want them to be.
We could just do some awesome work other places.
We should just, two corporate game development offices just going, maybe we should see other people.
Seriously, which is pretty sad, but at the same, I actually played a little bit of the Lamplighters League. You can play it on Game Pass. It's pretty cool. It's like a cool little, it's a nice little spin on the tactical turn-based strategy where there is a grid, but you're not, your characters aren't limited to moving in it. It's pretty cool. So if you haven't checked it out, the Lamplighters League on Game Pass right there comes with your subscription. Boom, try it out. See if you think that the game should have been cut, and harebrained schemes the developers should have been cut off by Paradox Entertainment.
Yeah. Try it out. The choice is yours.
And Drix, we got some rather spacey synths in the back. What's going on here?
We are listening to Sega Marine Fishing for the Dreamcast, I believe.
Sega Marine Fishing. We love a good sim here. CFM Radio. We are live.
Faster speed is not enough for it into the proper point that we are again. In the axis where opposite forces midway, take from X's and make the new choices.
All right. That was a song called Human from a game called Scrapland for the PC. And you can actually pick up a remastered version of that on Steam. It'll actually run you $20 right now.
Nice. That was a sweet track right here, CFM Radio. You heard it pick up Scrapland on Steam.
Yeah, right now we got the theme of Spider-Man from Marvel
Now this is a classic.
Marvel vs. Street Fighter in the, previous golden age of fighting games before this one that we may currently be in.
We currently are, I would say, in a gold age of fighting games. I actually don't know. You do make a good point, because we'll see what Tekken 8 has to say about it.
Yeah, pretty soon. Close enough to the release of all the Mortal Kombats and Street Fighters.
Talking about new releases, though, Drix, it's a big week for new games.
Yep. I mean, when Mario pokes his head out, he always does it in a big way.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that you say that, because there's really only two, and you probably already know what they are, but we're gonna go over them right now. First up, we have the PS5 exclusive Spider-Man 2. The game sees Peter Parker and Miles Morales teaming up to take on a rogues gallery of iconic villains such as the Lizard and Kraven the Hunter. And they'll also need to contend with the dark presence of the symbiotic influence, giving Peter Parker his new unfathomable powers. And that game releases tomorrow, October 20th, only for the PS5. Drix, I'm grabbing that when I get off work.
Yes. Head on down and get you Spider-Man 2, because, it's up there with the contenders for Game of the Year. And
yeah, I would say so, absolutely. Well, we'll see, right? We'll see. It's getting 9s and 10s, getting perfect scores across the board from a lot of them. But the next game, with our good buddy Mario, it's edging it out just a little bit, just the tiniest little bit. A 90 with a Spider-Man 2 at a 90, coming in at a 93 on Metacritic is Super Mario Wonder. And for those looking for something on the multiplayer side of things, tomorrow sees the release of Super Mario Wonder, a Switch exclusive. Join Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Daisy along with a lot of other friends as they enter the Flower Kingdom. It's a brand new world. The Flower Kingdom is home to the Wonder Flowers. These mysterious flowers change the game when collected to give Mario a level of unpredictable fun like you've never had before. Again, this game also releases tomorrow, Friday, October 20th, only on the Nintendo Switch. If you're downloading these games, you can play them tonight, I think at 9 p.m. PST. So, if you are ready, you can be gaming all night.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of blockbuster games to keep us busy coming out for this weekend, pre-Halloween. If you don't go trick-or-treating, you're probably at home playing one of these games.
Absolutely. And Drix, you gotta make way for these games, because God knows the release schedule did. The next games you got, the next real games you got, are next week. Nothing is coming out to compete with these for the weekend. There's no other games coming out. The last game came out this week that was a big notable release was Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. And Hot Wheels Unleashed, I love that game. It was the first 5 out of 5 we gave on clusterfuckmedia.com.
Yeah.
But, these games you can't compete with them.
No, not with the Nintendo Mario release. I mean, it's just good planning. Who among you would dare step up to one of the most innovative faces in gaming and just all around swell guy?
And Miles and Peter Parker are going over here being like, we will.
Yeah, Spider-Man. if you have kids, they're wearing one of those backpacks and probably clothes to school, so they've got the merch to back it up.
They might even be wearing one of those characters as a costume for Halloween, Drix. Like, you never know. Like, I see so many. You go to Target, you go anywhere, you see so many of these video game costumes, like Fortnite, Super Mario, Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
everything.
That's a
like,
classic.
you know, Halo. Like, yeah, that is a classic. Mortal Kombat is a classic. But,
Yeah.
you know, you've got all these new guys in here, and they're coming in, making a name. And it's pretty cool, I would say, if you're a gaming fan who happens to have kids. Because, you know, Drix, there's also a ton of adult-style costumes for Mario, Luigi, Peach, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. And Daisy says, yeah.
no, Drix. Daisy says, "Hi, I'm Daisy."
Yeah, it's the princess.
So, you know, I mean, if you guys are caught up with your backlog, because we've had a ton of games, you know, don't worry about maybe holding off on one of these games. But again, we'll talk about it next week. But the releases are just not going to stop coming. Like, you may have Mario, but there's no warping out of this. So,
nope, you're not gonna find the level select warp zone here.
Not here. But you know what? Speaking of Mario, is this a sweet Mario remix we have in the background?
Oh, it's just a composition by the one and only Koji Kondo. Classic Mario 64 tune, Dire Dire Docks.
Oh, definitely a classic. Dire Dire Docks, CFM Radio, we are live.
That was Burning Ship to Take Off from the Sega Saturn game Burning Rangers. Up next, we got Kit from Tekken 4.
We love Burning Rangers. I love Sega Saturn. I love Sega Saturn music. It's so awesome. But man, Tekken music is also so groovy. Like, the early Tekken music has such a groove. It's so wild.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a character doing like Brazilian capoeira, then yeah, you got to bring some kind of groove to the table.
And yeah, you know, when he fights a kangaroo, it's gotta be funky, right?
Mm-hmm. You too can rock Lion's Fit.
Yes, but you know, Drix, finally tonight, we have some interesting remarks from our good old pal, Phil Spencer. You know, Phil Spencer, unofficial friend of the show. We talk about him all the time.
Yeah, just followed him on Instagram too today, actually. So, hi, Phil.
Hell yeah. CFM, we love you, Phil. Over on the official Xbox podcast, you know, he had a couple of interesting things to say on the show yesterday, October 18th. They had Phil on to talk the Activision/Blizzard King acquisition and what he's been playing. Turns out, my guy is playing a lot on his, I think his Asus, the ROG Ally. That's what he said he's been gaming on. And my man's been playing some Brotato. It's good stuff. But you know, when it came to Blizzard games on Game Pass, Phil Spencer said, quote, this acquisition is definitely long-term for Microsoft, so the fact that we're not hitting day one with a bunch of games dropping into Game Pass is a little bit of a downer, but I'm very excited about the future, and I just want to be straight with the people. That's where we are. So I'm appreciative that Phil is out here saying, you know what, we don't have a lot of games out right now. They're on the way. But in the interview itself, he when he was asked, like, they pressed him, honestly. They pressed him on, like, well, why is that? And because they brought up a good example, that but when the Bethesda deal closed, that day of on Game Pass, all the Bethesda backlog pretty much was there. You could play all of Fallout.
To do it again.
Yeah, right. That's what everyone was kind of saying. They were like, you know, everything was already on there. It was on there day one. Why couldn't you have that right there? And he was telling them that, you know, this was kind of a different situation, a little bit more of a knockdown, drag out fight with old
FTC
or Sony and the FTC.
Oh, yeah, they had to bring a lot of evidence to the table in their defense, I'm sure.
Yeah, boy, did they. We saw it.
Yeah, healthy amount of leaks and PowerPoint presentations and stuff of outlining their plans and goals and things they have.
The future of Xbox.
Yeah, all in on cloud gaming and such.
It's interesting to think about how the approach that Microsoft is taking to the greater gaming landscape. You think about how these guys are single-handedly swooping up every decent developer, and under their belt, Sony feels like they're under pressure to do pretty much the same thing. And at the same time, you got big conglomerates like the Embracer Group, who got a bunch of game devs under their belt. They're going under, you know.
Yeah.
We've got so a lot of those people are going to have more than likely going to have need some new homes. And you know, with Paradox getting rid of harebrained schemes, they're getting a lot of layoffs in the gaming world. I believe Epic just laid some people off. A lot of layoffs in the gaming world these days. And like I said, all these people are going to need a new home to make more games.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it too. You know, sorry you got laid off, but bigger and better things, hopefully. It means there's a lot of talent around. A lot of free agents that can be drafted onto new teams.
I'm hoping that a lot of these free agents end up sticking in the games industry.
Oh, yeah.
You saw it when it was like the Wild West of video game consoles, when you had like a 3DO and an Atari Jaguar
Oof.
and all that kind of crazy shit coming around. You saw a lot of those game developers for those platforms, right? A lot of those platforms, they just stop making games. Those developers just stop making games.
Yeah, do something else
when they're
with your
done.
Talents. I mean, if that's what you do, find your passions elsewhere.
Yeah, it's just kind of it makes me worried that we might be in a situation where instead of like a lot of hardware coming out and like mucking up the games industry with a bunch of junk software to go along with junk hardware to make it sell, or like things like everyone can develop for the Wii, so you just put a bunch of shovelware on it. You have an interesting situation where it seems almost like the industry is so cutthroat.
Yeah, and it's consolidating in a lot of ways too. If you're being bought out by Microsoft or Sony, and then whatever Game Pass is doing to the value of these games on their own versus as a cloud service with a subscription.
It is interesting when you think about Game Pass and when you think about the value of a game. There are people who are of the mind that your game on Game Pass or your digital product in general is not of any value. I would definitely say it's of value. There would not be websites selling whole accounts on Steam with one game on it if that your digital good didn't have any value. But I will say that it's the adoption of the all digital world is definitely not one that's being embraced by the entirety of the gaming community, because a lot of people are becoming more involved with game preservation, and a lot of people are just they want to go out and buy the latest game. Starfield, in spite of Game Pass, still has fantastic physical sales.
Yeah, that says something. It's almost like vinyl coming back or just still being around.
Yeah, and we've seen a little bit of a dip in vinyl popularity over the past couple years, but that might just be an ebb and flow of the market. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the ebb and flow of the gaming market is one that goes all digital, especially anytime soon, especially with developers like Insomniac coming out and saying, hey, you know what? The whole entirety of Spider-Man 2, it's on the disc.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to preserve your games too. Put out as many entire copies of it physically as you can.
The entire copy, yeah, just put out the entire game.
Yep, doesn't hurt to have around, backups of backups.
Yeah, we keep, that's another story we hear all the time. We hear, especially with those stupid Transformers games, Hasbro wanted to bring, they were approaching, I think, Activision and, or EA, one of the big publishers. They wanted to bring back a lot of these Transformers games, and when they approach these big publishers are like, well, we don't have the code anymore. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, oops, we deleted, Chrono Trigger or whatever masterpiece. Back in the day, you used to just put out a game and that was that.
Bro, there's like a billion copies of it out there. Like,
yeah, good luck with all that foolishness.
No, I mean, these days, we were talking before the show, and we were talking, or I was making the point about how these little mini consoles they were releasing for a minute there, those were like the worst form of game preservation.
Yeah, you're gonna want to mod those out as quickly as you can.
Yeah, because you want to stick to the same 20 games, like out of like a whole NES, Super Nintendo, or Sony PlayStation 1 library.
Yeah, you can go to a website like archive.org and get an entire discography of like Genesis games or NES, Super Nintendo, and you can just carry them around on your phone. Like, why wouldn't you want that in your Super Nintendo Mini if you are quick-witted enough to know your way around modding one?
I mean, yeah, quick-witted to look up a YouTube video.
Yep. We all need that sometimes.
Sometimes. So, there's a lot. Phil Spencer said a lot in here. It makes a lot of sense as to why the games from ActiBliz are not there yet. He also talked a little bit about the mobile game scene and about how that's going to layer in, about how he doesn't want like, oh man, this franchise, but mobile. No, he wants it where it makes sense.
Yep.
And what that really means, we'll see what happens. But I will say, it is kind of it is a bit eerie to have him say those kinds of things and express all this love and admiration for these game series and franchises that he has under his belt, when we all knew the analytics, the specter of those low numbers is hanging high over him.
Yeah, you might be able to tell where his concerns might lie after this interview. Hopefully, he manages the whole company's content drip in such a way that it creates those numbers that they might be missing currently. And Merry Christmas. Hopefully you have a good holiday, or hopefully things move, whether digitally or physically, towards the end of the quarter and towards the end of the year.
We'll see how many Xboxes they end up selling, right?
Yeah. Here's hoping for your little. I feel like they're a small company after following so much. Like, oh, go little guys. I hope you stick around.
But, Drix, we're gonna let a little bit of that music play. What do we got?
Ooh, right now we got Toka 2 Touring Cars Association or something. Nice, another sports sim, racing cars. The Touring Cars soundtrack. This is the main menu theme.
Touring Cars soundtrack, Toka Touring Cars. This is the menu theme. CFM Radio. We are live. Well, Drix.
Yeah, Vector. It's about
I think
that
we got
time.
games to play.
Yeah, we better pop in Cyberpunk 2077 pretty soon here.
Yeah, I gotta do something like that, man. Like, it's sitting there in my good old games library. I just gotta grab that expansion pack and go. I keep hearing nothing but good things about it. It's pulling people away from Starfield, so I gotta do it. Like,
Yeah, that's a tough act to follow. So it's got to be worth the transition.
and like we were saying, everyone, it's not over yet. We still have a bunch of games coming out the holiday season. We have Mario RPG. We've got a lot of stuff for the Switch, actually. You know, you got the Mario RPG remake. You have the Princess Peach game right around the corner. Tekken 7 right at the top of the new year. You might have a little bit of a lull in November, but like I said, we'll talk about what's going on next week and what games are coming out next time on CFM Radio.
Yeah, we'll keep digging around, even if it gets indie.
Yeah, indeed. But Drix, I think with that, I think it's about time to get out of here.
All right, thanks for staying tuned and staying in touch online. We appreciate you guys.
Like the stream, check out the other videos on the channel. Subscribe. We will be having the day 4 of the Pokemon TCG playthrough Supercut coming up at the end of the week, and end of the week. I'll have it up by Saturday or Sunday, pretty much, and then we're gonna take a break from live streaming until the top of the month next month, because we are finishing out the Supercuts, putting it into a nice little playlist, and we'll be hitting you with a brand new CFM Game On playthrough on Twitch. You stay tuned.
Yep. Until then, we'll see you next week on CFM Radio.
See you next week, CFM Radio.
I know that you'll be back.